Hi, I'm Parker.
And I'm Mike. And this is the Graphic Novel Podcast.
Welcome to our new podcast on the art of the graphic novel. Mike is the author of 10 books and produced Comics TV, which was a weekly TV show on comics for 7 years back in the 90s.
Back in the olden days. Together, we produced Northwest Brew Talk about the beer industry in the Northwest for 2 years. Now we're back, and this show is all about graphic novels. Welcome to another episode. How are you doing this week, Parker?
I'm doing okay. How about you?
I'm doing all right also. Final day of my weekend. So, getting ready for some new work tomorrow, so it'll be interesting. I have to go to bed early. Yeah, it's going to be
I'm already feeling tired, though. I'm ready for it.
Yeah, I'm tired too.
Not that I'm going to bed early, but
no, but it'll be different. But anyhow, we got some good feedback from our last episode, where we reviewed multiple books, but especially Liminal State. That was
touched us.
Yeah, it was a lot, and the creator Maria got back to us and had some nice things to say.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
She seemed to like the review and the podcast discussing our own ties to trauma. And
yeah, it seemed like, that's what you want of your art. You want to connect with people in that way, and so it seems like, definitely as deeply personal as that story was, it connected to some deeply personal shit. So it was pretty cool.
Yeah, it both ways. We connected. She connected with us, and we connected back with her with our stories too. So it was pretty cool.
Very cool.
But one of the other things too, we finally got ourselves a nice little logo.
Yeah,
it's pretty cool. I went to Fiverr, got it done by
got it done.
Yeah. By a great artist. They drew it for us, and it looks pretty cool.
Yeah, considering we gave them very little.
Yes,
we're like, this is what we're doing.
Yes, we didn't know what we wanted. I don't know if they even looked us up or not, but we're just like, okay, we're doing this podcast on graphic novels. Come back with something, and they did.
They did. It's good. I like it.
It's nice.
Yeah, very cool. So this week, what did we read?
What did we read? What's it called?
Part of It.
Part of It by Ariel Schrag.
Yes.
Good book. Interesting. Let's talk a little bit about her so we can understand what we're getting into here.
Mm-hmm.
Ariel Schrag was born in Berkeley, California. She's the author of the novel Adam, which some of you may know because there was a movie that just came out about it. And the graphic memoirs Awkward, Definition, Potential, Likewise, and the one that we're reviewing today. Potential was nominated for an Eisner Award, and Likewise was nominated for a Lambda Literary Award. Adam was made into a feature film. Let's see what else. She wrote the screenplay for it, and she was also a writer for Vinyl on HBO and How to Make It in America, and for the Showtime series The L Word. So she mentions briefly in one of the stories about writing for TV and making tons of money.
Sometimes I worry that I'm going to lose my queer card because I have not watched
The L Word.
Even one season. I've watched a few episodes, but I've not watched The L Word, and I worry that admitting that to people will be like,
yeah,
you got to go. You can't be part of this group anymore.
She's also written comics and articles for the New York Times Book Review, Cosmopolitan, New York Magazine, USA Today, and more. Her original art is showed in galleries across the U.S., Europe, and Canada. She graduated from Columbia University with a degree in literature, teaches graphic novel workshop in the writing department in the New York School, taught classes at Brown University, New York University, Butler University, and Williams College. She currently lives in Brooklyn, New York. So that's a little bit about her. I also read a long interview with her from early this year when this book came out, and it was pretty good. It went into depth about a lot of the previous books, and also Adam, which is about a straight cis man who, I guess, pretends to be a trans woman in order to, because they fall for a lesbian, so they pretend to be a trans woman, and that's what the story is. And
really, that just emphasizes how much cis men suck.
it written by a lesbian. So I don't know what it's interesting, I mean, and they got a lot of heat. They took a lot of heat. This was one of those.
I understand it, honestly.
This was one of those kind of books that when it came out, people were just going on Amazon and Goodreads and saying, "I read the synopsis and I give this 1 star because it sucks," without ever reading the story.
Yeah.
But I read some reviews and there were people that were pretty negative about it. Now, in her interview, she said that she had trans friends who thought the book was positive. They didn't have negative things to say about it. But
they're your friends.
But there was also people who said, that thought it wasn't that great. So it's tough. I know being an artist, being a writer, it's tough reading reviews.
Yeah.
Adam was made into a movie. I mean,
yeah.
So she can say suck it to everybody, whether they like the book or not, because they got it made into a movie, and her book Potential is a potential movie too.
But my issue, and again, I'm speaking just as a trans person and not as somebody who has watched the movie or read the book, obviously, but it just feels like the picture is being painted that there are trans people who aren't real trans people, and that just leads the general public to believe that they don't have to believe people when they say I am trans.
Well, it's like we were listening to the one podcast today, a different one, where the one woman came out when she was like 15 or whatever to her mother, and that she was a lesbian. Her mother said, "No, you're not."
Yeah.
No, you're not.
Yeah.
And she said it took 7 years.
Yeah.
7 years later. I think it was 7, right?
I don't remember the number, but
she said that she came out to her mother again. She's like, "All right," but that's what happens. Or people don't believe you. It's like, no, you're not gay. You're gay. You chose to be gay. It's something that you just chose to do.
Right.
So I guess that's the thing. But I don't know. I haven't read the book. I'm not going to make a comment. We can't paint anything about it. We don't know anything about the story.
Yeah.
So. But
I mean,
I know you can make your judgment, and which is what a lot of people did, and you can't really do it without seeing the movie. And again, the movie was based in a certain time period. A lot of people were complaining about the movie, saying that doesn't do trans people well. But again, it was set in a certain time period before gay marriage was legal, before all these things, before people even knew what trans really was. I mean, just in the past 10 years.
And you mean the general
public, right?
Yeah.
So anyhow, this book, part of it, a lot of her books, she started out writing in high school, that's what she started doing. Well,
yeah,
these stories are early, but some of her early books were all
books. Yeah.
Her early books were comics that she did while she was in high school. She was like basically doing about, stories that happened in high school. So part of it is a continuation of a lot of this, but there's stories that go back to her earliest, under 10.
Well, right? I'll read the synopsis.
Okay, good.
Ariel Schrag, a critically acclaimed memoirist and screenwriter, takes us on a painfully funny tour of her formative years, from her childhood in Berkeley to her mid-20s in Brooklyn, exploring what it means to connect to others when you don't yet know who you are, when you want to be part of it, but the it changes daily. We meet hippie babysitters, mean girls, best friends, former friends, prom dates, girlfriends, sex ed students, and far too many lens crafters sales associates. These frank, irreverent, and honest comics revel in the uncomfortable, occasionally cringe-inducing moments from our early years that end up wiring us as people. Part of it further cements Ariel Schrag as one of the best pure storytellers in any medium. That was from Comics Journal.
So going back to that interview again, I forgot. She, the interviewer asked if Robert Crumb was an influence at all, and she said, in not like an artistic way, but in
definitely the art doesn't.
No, but he did have some basic influence. But you know who some of her big influences were? Joe Matt and Chester Brown. Yes, and they brought up Pain for it, and she said she had some issues with Pain for it. But
not surprised.
But I Never Liked You, which is another book that I think we're going to review later down the road.
That's also Chester Brown.
Yes, she said that one is different. It has like friends, family members, and stuff, and you can read them a little different.
They've been around for so long that it's hard to imagine you not getting something from them.
Well, she said she lived in LA for a while and she became friends with Joe Matt at the time.
Oh, really?
Yeah, she actually got to look through his personal stuff.
Wow,
and
that's
look
pretty
through
cool.
said that they don't talk anymore, but for a while they were friends. So she did take a lot from him, and I think it was probably his storytelling, the way he does his own memoir stuff.
Yeah.
Which a lot of it, like she says, is just him sitting in a room. I mean, a lot of it is he does a lot of porn. He watches a lot of porn.
Okay.
But that's his life.
Right.
Anyhow, her artwork is it changes.
Yeah.
There's different periods. Some of it was when she was in college, some of it in high school, and I like it. It's more cartoony, but very clean. Easy to read.
The younger ones definitely have a different look to them.
Yeah, what is this one here?
High school, I think.
Yeah,
age 17.
When she was 17. Yeah. And this comic, let's see, written during my junior year of high school. And so the book talks about multiple different things. She the big thing, like you mentioned earlier, was the lens crafters thing.
Yeah,
that story is very long, and the story itself is anxiety inducing to me, and I don't even have anxiety.
Yeah.
I mean, why don't you give an overview of what it's about?
I don't know. I feel like I don't want to give that one away.
She talks about it in the interview, so it's not like it's a secret.
So, okay. She goes to...
You still have to read the whole thing to get the good picture of it.
Well, I mean, of course, you have to read it. You can't just take our word. Okay, so she goes to get new glasses. I mean, just the general thing. She goes to get new glasses, picks them out, doesn't like them. I mean, spends hours finding the right pair, talking herself up, like, this is it. This is the new you. You're gonna wear these glasses. This is gonna be who you are.
Because her glasses broke and she couldn't find something that was exactly the same.
Well, and she just kept she repaired them until they were not repairable anymore. That's right,
with super glue and all kinds of stuff.
And then whatever. Okay, we don't have to go into the detail, I guess, but yeah, she went all out trying to hold on to these glasses till the very last moment. So finally gets a new pair of glasses. Doesn't like them, returns them. I didn't even know that you could return glasses.
Well, her sister made a comment. That was what started it.
Oh, yes.
Her sister made a comment.
My brother making a comment would make me want to return things.
She returned them. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's just this anxiety. And I mean, it's anxiety that I have. So it doesn't quite have that. It doesn't quite have that shock, I think, that you feel, because you're like, oh my God, wow. But I'm just like, yeah, I would do the same thing if I had that's why I can't have the option to return glasses, because I would probably always return them.
Really?
Yeah. If I know that I can't do it, then that's it.
Well, I mean, and the story goes on and on. It wasn't just one pair. She returned like 5 pair of glasses.
Yeah, far too many lens crafters.
I mean, she went home. She was living in Brooklyn. She goes home to visit her parents. And that's where she's like, oh, you got to buy me glasses. So that was the first pair. But she returned it before she left. And then she bought another pair, and then another pair, and another pair. And these were over time. It wasn't like all within a couple weeks. It was months. And she got, and she liked the plastic thick frames.
Yeah.
And they weren't popular. And the thing she said that in this interview.
I mean, I had those glasses that looked just like that forever. My brother too. My brother had a pair of glasses for probably 10 years, I think. He just got a new pair, and I don't remember, but the black rimmed ones are back in. So it's like, but yeah, if you can make, if your eyesight doesn't go bad quickly enough, but it sounds like she has crummy eyesight too. So it's like she could not go 10 years without changing her glasses, probably.
Well, in the interview, she said that the problem was the glasses that she liked were male glasses made for men, and they were too big, and they would slide down her nose. Yeah, right. So that created problems. And, the women's glasses were not what she wanted. It was just one thing after another.
Yeah, the glasses story goes from page 79 to page 103. So it's definitely the longest section, I think.
Yeah, it's a good story. I mean, it's if you can get through it, because For me, I don't have
you-
anxiety, but it was like making me nervous just reading it. I wanted to just say, take the glasses, just wear the glasses,
Yeah.
whatever.
Yeah.
But she returned like 5 pair of glasses until finally, like she said, that she has to be able to, like you said, they can't go back. If you can take them back.
Yeah, then you will.
Yeah. And so it had to get to a point. I mean, she was like 2 days away from her 30 days being up, and she returned them and got a different pair.
Yep.
Walked into all these different stores.
Yeah.
I mean, it was just this long thing, and it was good. It was good.
Oh, yeah. The stories and,
but it's just
everybody that was involved in her decision making.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, it's interesting. What other things were in here? There was someone, she was younger, playing a rape game with her friend. And
Yeah, that was
very big. That was like when she was like
6,
under 10. Yes, it was very young. And playing King Emperor or something.
Age 6. Let's play rape.
Yeah. And then what was the last part? It was kind of funky.
Let's play something else. We could play this game I play with Ronica, where one of us is a big fat emperor, and has all of these girls come rub themselves in his crotch.
That was at age
Where would a 6-year-old get that from?
I don't know, but it's funky. She said that her father was into comics when she was a kid, always read comics, and used to read her Disney comics and stuff. So she knew where they were on the shelf. So as she got a little bit bigger, she would go and get them. And then she found there was another stack of comics next to them.
Uh-huh.
And they weren't bad comics, but they were adult comics. And she was like, oh, yeah, these are cool.
Yeah.
And there were certain things that she saw that she's like, oh, these are cool. I like these. Mm-hmm. She didn't let her father know. I don't think that she was reading those ones.
Probably not.
I mean, they weren't porn or that kind of adult, but they just weren't, Disney comics.
I like the hippies as babysitter part too.
Yeah, that one was a good one.
I was waiting because like at the one point the mom's like, your boyfriend's not gonna, or your fiance, I think, is not staying here. And she's like, oh, of course not. And then the boyfriend or fiance comes over, and I'm like, soon as she is not gonna listen, like, oh my God, these kids are gonna tell on her. But then the babysitter does what she's supposed to and doesn't let the fiance stay the night, even though he tries.
Yeah, he did try. But yeah, that was a good story. We
had so many babysitters growing up, but I feel like it was they were always like teenage babysitters, older teenagers, but not. I mean, no, that's not true. Sometimes we had other babysitters, and my brother remembers them far better than I do. But like, I remember going to this one woman's house, and I want to say that her name was Amber, but maybe I'm confusing her for another one. And we like went and sat in this like sunroom and just like watched TV, but it wasn't real TV. It was like a VHS tape that like Barney or something, I don't know, that she put in. And that was what we did. And then there was somebody who they were like people my mom worked with, and this one woman named Corey. And she had like an infant, and I think my mom worked with her mom, and it was just like this strange set of characters, kind of like this. Like she had this person and this person and this person, and then you just suddenly don't see them anymore. And now I'm an adult, and I'm like, what happened with this person? Like this, they make it kind of clear, right? Like,
well, wasn't one of them is an adult now that used to babysit you? Somebody that was somebody's kid.
An adult
somebody
now.
Was somebody's kid that used to babysit you.
Casey, is that who you're talking about?
I'm not sure.
We had a babysitter named Casey. She probably babysat us for the longest time. She was in high school, so she would like ride the bus to our house, go to our house, and then get dropped off because the high school got out before the elementary school, and then get dropped off and then we would come. She'd meet us at the bus stop or whatever.
So I don't remember ever having a babysitter. We had, let's see, my one aunt watched us. I remember me mostly.
You were older than your siblings. My brother's only 2 years older than me. So, but as soon as it was like, my parents must have like decided he was mature enough, which my brother's was far more mature than probably most kids his age at the time. But I want to say he was like 11 maybe.
Oh, really?
And we were staying home alone. So 11 and 9.
Well, let's see. The only time I think we ever were babysat was when my mother went out. She didn't go out a lot, but when she would go out at night.
Oh, because she didn't work.
No,
outside of the
she
home.
didn't work when we were little.
Outside the home.
Correct.
Her job was
outside of the home,
y'all.
she didn't. But I remember my Aunt Marge watching me. I don't think she watched all of us. She watched me. I have no idea what happened to my brother and sister then.
They probably stayed with your mom. Like 3 was too many.
I remember sleeping the one night I slept with my cousin too. Female cousin.
Is this the cousin that you were telling me about?
No.
Oh, okay.
No, I slept with her. Nothing happened, of course, but I was 10-year-old, maybe 11. No, it's probably 10 or 9. Anyhow.
Wait. Nothing happened, of course, you say.
No. I mean, you're making it look like you're
smirk on your face.
No, nothing happened. Well, I think I was
course.
thinking that I wanted it to at that time.
Really?
Well, not like sex, but maybe get a little boob feel or anything. Or
how old was your cousin?
Oh, she's older. She's at least 5 years, probably more.
So she's like 15, 16-ish?
Maybe 18. She might have been.
She might have been 18. Why did you sleep with her? I wouldn't want
There was no other bed.
You sleep on the floor.
No, that's where they put me. Anyhow, I don't actually know if I slept with her. I slept in her bed. I don't remember. It's a little vague. Let's see. Who else?
Now I'm starting to worry. Like, what is it that happened here? You blocked it out of your memory.
My Aunt Rose watched us probably the most, but all of us.
You want to tell any of those stories?
There's really nothing.
One time, there's stories there. You want to give them up?
So my uncle was a great guy, but he was,
that's not the Aunt Rose I was thinking of.
No, he was. That's coming. But he was a great guy, and one time, I was a kid. I was not that good of a kid, and I was.
Stop! You were a kid. You were a curious kid. That's all. It comes down to.
I don't remember if I pushed the chair. They had these high back chairs in front of their windows,
oh my God.
and I pushed it. I don't know if I pushed it or if I was in it and pushed back and broke the window.
Yeah.
And my aunt was going to get it fixed before my uncle found out. And the next day, like a fire truck or something happened out in front. So he went to the window to look out the window, and there it is. And she's like, "Oh, I guess I gotta tell him now."
Oh man.
But yeah.
Did you get in trouble?
No, he wasn't happy, but I mean,
he didn't like beat you or anything.
No. He was a great guy. Aunt Rose, yeah.
He could not have been that great of a guy that your aunt was afraid to tell him that something happened.
Because we were kids. I think we were just always getting into shit at their house, and that's why. Because we were.
I don't care. What was she so afraid of?
I have no idea. I don't know.
Right? Don't you think there's something?
Honestly,
there?
I don't remember him ever getting mad at us.
I mean,
I think he probably got frustrated.
Can you imagine our kids Can you imagine our kids breaking something and me not telling you about it because I don't want you to find out? But
no,
right? So, what must have gone on behind closed doors?
We don't know what went behind closed doors.
Exactly, but there had to be something.
Who knows? But okay, so that's that.
Okay.
Let's see who else.
That doesn't make you a bad kid, by the way.
No.
Like shit happens.
Aunt Rose was my mother's best friend.
You weren't
from when they went to school. I mean, they're.
This is a different aunt. Yeah.
Yeah, they've been. The other Aunt Rose was my mother's older sister, and Marge was her sister too. But yeah, Aunt Rose was one of her best friends, probably her best friend from when they went to. I don't know if they went to grammar or elementary school together.
I feel like I remember
it was a long time. Which is probably like 60 years they've been friends.
Yeah,
that's a long time.
Yeah, it is. Most people probably can't say they've had friends for 60 years. Yeah.
No, but she lived in the house right in front of us, and later on, and we moved at the end of the one school year, and they wanted to let us finish the school year there. So what they did was my dad used to drive us to her house in the morning so we could catch the bus at the same place because we didn't tell the school that we moved.
Right.
Because it was in the middle of the year. And my brother ruined it, though, because he was a little kid still in elementary school. But that and then after school, I got out before them. So then I would go to her house and we'd wait until my mother, I think, came to pick us up after school. I think my mother was working at that time. But anyhow, so we used to stay there, and I was just a nosy fuck, and I was like 13, And I was bored. I'd eat her food. I'd walk through her house. I'd search everything. Went through her drawers. Went through her closets. I don't know what I was looking for.
You know what you were looking for.
I found some of it.
You found it.
Yeah. Found a stash of magazines that I'm sure that nobody knew she had. And yeah.
Enjoyed it.
I enjoyed them. I also found money and I stole it, but I got caught.
You always get caught.
I didn't take all of it, but I took it. And the Kiss had just come out with their solo records, and I went and bought all 4 solo records, which was stupid, but I was a kid and bought them all.
Yeah, you don't think about.
No. In the middle of the night, my parents wake me up and they're like, "Hey, come here." They bring me in the kitchen. They're like, "So where'd you get the money to buy those records?" I'm like, "I think I bought cassettes at Kmart."
I can't wait to hear the lie you came up with.
And I'm like, it wasn't long after.
What records?
It wasn't long after my birthday. It was like October or something.
Oh, okay.
So I'm like, I had birthday money left over. And they're like, really? Like, so where's this money that we found under your mattress?
Oh.
I'm like, ooh. So then I finally came clean. I told them that I stole them. They got me to confess. They put the light over me and it was a dark room and each of them were standing there like, what'd you do? Where'd you get the money? How'd you get it? They figured that I had got it from my aunt, and my mother had called her and asked her if she was missing money, and she said no. So my parents took the cassettes back to Kmart, explained what happened, and they accepted them, even they had been open. They took them back.
Wow.
And
good old Kmart.
I gave I took the money and I put it back. The magazines were all gone.
Oh, she cleaned them out.
Yeah, she had like, ooh, found my magazines. So, yeah.
Wow.
Anyhow, so that's my, and one time I remember her babysitting us and some guy came over. She didn't have a boyfriend ever that I know of, but from what I understand, it was her kid's father. I'm 99% sure.
Oh, that's right. She had a kid.
Yeah. And I'm pretty sure
she was a teenager, right?
Oh, I don't remember. It was a weird story. It's not for us to tell.
But, okay. Yeah, you're right.
But yeah, that, I'm pretty sure it was. And we were in bed and I think I had gotten up and saw him, but it was a weird.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's about it for babysitting for me.
Yeah.
But I was babysitting myself, I guess, at that point.
See, I don't remember any stories even like that happening. I remember having babysitters, but like the details of what happened when they were there, I don't. And maybe it's why, because it was like every week, every day of the week, really.
Right,
really.
Right.
So
what other stories are in Ariel's book?
Well, there's a lot of the mean girl stuff, which I kind of feel like is pretty, like, I don't know, why was she friends with this girl? And the thinking to herself, I'm so scared, oh my god, like she's like praying to if anything could change, please.
Well,
yeah,
but I don't think it. And then the girl dumps her.
Yeah, she's not my friend anymore. And convinces everybody else that they don't want to be friends with her either. Oh, because she rifles through their bras.
Oh, this is a good story here. This story.
I don't know. Do we want to tell the story? I feel like it's a great story. People should. I feel like we should just leave it for people to read.
Just give an overview.
I can't give an.
I can do it.
Okay.
She's
if you give it away,
visiting
I might pinch you or something.
She's visiting a friend they have a boat, and the boat is docked, and it's docked, and there's a house there, and you can't go poop on the boat. You have to go into the house if you want to go poop. And after a couple of days,
I love that you say poop.
She has to go poop, and that's what the story's about, and what ensues after that, and it's pretty good. I like that story.
I do too. It was short and sweet, and like just so perfect, though.
But you understood it too.
Oh, for sure.
I mean, I get.
I do not poop in public. Mm-hmm. I do not poop at other people's houses. Like if I'm on vacation, I will hold it as long as I can. And then, I mean, I don't want to go into the details, but I do not poop in public. I do not poop at other people's house. I'm just like, it's just not. I don't know. Anxiety is fucking weird.
I don't think I ever had that problem. And then when I was a bike messenger, There was no
Yeah,
way
you had
that
to
was.
go. If you had
Yep.
to go, you had to go.
I knew
Yeah.
when I was a bike messenger in Buffalo for 7 years, I knew where every building had the best. Well, maybe not the best, not like George Costanza, where he knew
You knew where the good ones
the corner
were.
of 37th and 43rd and the 4th floor. Ask for Mary. Knew where all the buildings were and all the bathrooms, so I could go anywhere.
Yeah, and there were some bathrooms that were better than others, right?
Yeah, and most of them that I knew were free ones. You didn't have to get a key or anything.
Right.
So it was good.
Yeah.
But yeah, she has a lot of stories. They're good. And then she was like an arts, not
Director or something.
teacher and thing.
I
Like
mean, it
an
was an
after-school
after-school program.
Yeah. So there's a bunch of stories about that she had done.
Yeah, she taught art. She was an art teacher at a summer camp.
Yeah, was it summer camp?
Summer camp, yeah.
Okay, but it was good. It was good. Oh, and here she does this. She gets this job, and then she gets called for this other job.
Oh.
So she immediately calls the other one and quits.
Yeah, see, that I would not do.
You would not do that.
I would be way too anxious about potentially not getting the other job.
Well, then she went to that interview and they're like, oh, yeah, we're just looking for the future, for the fall. It's not for right now.
Yeah.
So then she has to call the other one and beg for that.
And like, please, yeah.
Is that position still open? And yeah. And then, then they have to give her that. Or she gets that job then.
The first one, yeah.
Yeah. And that's what these comics are about. But it's like, I can kind of see myself doing that, but I've never done that before. But I could see myself doing that.
Yeah.
It's like, oh wait, the better job is coming. I better go.
Yeah.
Shiny new thing. And they're good stories. The Kids Corner one, because they're urban inner city kids.
Issue. I did have a little issue there.
About what?
She uses the word transsexual.
Oh yeah.
And she's reading off of a page, so I'm in the thing. So maybe she like found it online somewhere. And I mean, this was. Did she say what year it was? Oh yeah,
it looks like she was giving
she was teaching the kids.
Yeah, something.
Because it was the girl. What was it called? Girls Corner or something. I don't remember.
Something like that. Yeah, so they would meet and they could
2004.
ask.
They weren't using the word transsexual really in 2004. I wouldn't think. I mean, they were using the word, but it wasn't. It was a slur.
In 2004,
Yeah.
You're talking 15 years ago. That's a long time.
That is quite a while ago. God, really?
Yeah.
Is it 2019?
Yeah, 15 years ago. I mean, they may have used that then.
I still feel like if it had been me, I would have edited that. I would have used transgender because transsexual is a slur.
I understand.
I mean, if she was transgender and using it, then like as a reclaiming of the word, then I would be a little less uncomfortable with it. But yeah, I did not like finding that in the book.
I understand.
Yeah,
but overall, I mean, it's a pretty good book. Like I said, she's worked. She had just submitted a new novel to her publisher earlier this year, so that's what she's working on. I don't know if she's doing any more art. So that's not sure if she's doing any new comics.
I really did love her artwork.
You like it?
Yeah.
Cartoon. I mean, I've stared at the cover quite a few times. I like it. It's nice.
And then the full color at the end too.
Yeah, it's because it explains something. That's why it's color and
she's talking
black
about
and white.
Yeah, she was talking about walking out on. I want to know. I can't remember. Venice Beach. That's right.
Yeah. But it's cool. It's good. I liked it. It's good, and I love these memoirs. I love people telling their personal stories. I've got a lot of them of my own that I'm thinking that I've already written that I think that would be pretty good graphic novel stuff. So I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah.
But a couple other things to wrap up this week's show.
Yeah, we wanted to. We got a Twitter DM. From G.E. Gallus asking us if we want to check out their book, The Plague and Dr. Came. It's a darkly humorous graphic novel about a doctor grappling against the Black Death. And they wanted us to just kind of check out they're trying to get it what is the word I'm looking for?
Funded.
Funded. They're trying to get it funded. Thank you. They're at 14%. They've got almost 100 supporters. It looks really interesting, and the artwork. I mean, just all the covers, all the that I've seen. But anyway. So do a search, find it. We'll share.
It's on unbound.com.
Unbound.com. We'll share it on Twitter. So check it out. The Plague and Dr. Kane.
She got somebody made that mask that's on the cover.
Oh, that's right. You were telling me this.
Because that's what the doctor, because she wanted to make it, the doctor is never actually seen. There's no face to the doctor. So in the whole story, the doctor has a mask on. Okay. So the doctor could be anyone, basically.
Okay.
So that's why she did that. And they're all true kind of medical procedures and stuff. Yeah.
Historical.
Yeah, medical procedures that happened over time.
That's so cool.
But yeah, so she had this mask made, and she went to, I forgot what show it was, like a week or so ago.
Like a Comic-Con.
Yeah, and she said afterwards that she thinks that she's allergic to whatever the mask is made of. So.
Oh my God, can you imagine? Yeah. Oh man, it was probably so hot too, and then
it looked cool though. It looked just like that. It was really cool.
Wow. But, check it out. So check it out. Help her get funded and publish this awesome looking book.
Yep. And
we're really into that history kind of stuff too. We don't really read a ton of that. You've published some of your own historical.
Yes, I've done
fiction stuff.
Nonfiction. And I did some historical kind of fiction.
Yeah.
It mixed. It kind of was memoir / historical fiction.
Yeah, it was a funky kind of. It didn't quite fit into every.
No,
it
was.
But it was cool. Anyway, so yeah, this looks really awesome, and so check it out. We will also post the link in on Twitter and share that so that you guys can check it out. And help get her funded.
Yeah, there's a lot. There's a lot of people trying to get books like this funded.
Well, that's hard.
That's cool. Yeah, it's expensive.
It's expensive. Yeah.
Unless you're lucky enough to get a big publisher to put something out, it's.
Yeah, and it really is luck too.
Yeah, I think part of it is luck. But anyhow, my name is Mike,
and I'm Parker,
and this is the Graphic Novel Podcast.
Thanks for listening. If you enjoy listening to our podcast, make sure that you like, share, give us a great rating. We love to hear back. You can find us on Twitter at Graphic Novel Pod, or you can check out our Instagram at Graphic Novel Podcast.
Or you can visit our website. We got a brand new website. It is graphicnovelpodcast.com. Or you can send us a comment or question or any kind of thing like that.
Yeah, we love hearing from our listeners.
Yeah, request for a book to be reviewed or anything like that to graphicnovelpodcast@gmail.com. And biggest thing, if you're listening to the podcast and you like it, visit your favorite podcast distribution host like iTunes or whatever, and give us a review. Give us Stitcher or Breaker, all them, and give us a review and stars, because that's.
Hey, if you give us 5 stars in a review, we may read it on there.
Yes, we will definitely, and that will help us expand the number of people listening to our show.
That's the best way that we can share our show is by our listeners.
That's right. So thanks for listening again this week.
The podcast you just heard was made using Anchor. Ever thought about making your own podcast? Anchor makes it really easy for anyone to get started. It's a one-stop shop for recording, hosting, and distributing podcasts. Best of all, it's 100% free. Sign up now at anchor.fm/new. That's anchor.fm/new to get started.